let's talk about some of your most recent work. Can you tell me a little bit about Iconoclasm?
Okay, Iconoclasm developed um, because I was doing a presentation at the Museum of Reclaimed Urban Space, and an intern came up who said, I would like to interview you, very much the way you're interviewing me, about your activism. And this young interviewer, this young intern named Maxine, she interviewed me. And at the end of the interview, I said, so, okay, what do you do? What activism do you do? And she was like, oh, well, my friends of mine, sometimes we go out at night and we destroy Confederate monuments. And I was like, you what? You destroy Confederate monuments? That sounds a bit risky. She says, well, I do it a little. Other people do it more, and I'm like, Maxine, you got to write this up. And so Maxine and I embarked on doing a series of comics about the movement to destroy Confederate monuments. And so far, we've done 2 installments. The first was published in a anarchist magazine called Upping the Ante, and it was published in an Italian magazine called Scoop. The second has only been published in Italian, and both of these are about the movement to pull down the Confederate monuments. The second, which I sent you, and which will be in the next issue of World War III Illustrated, hopefully, was based on an interview with a young activist who had been involved in pulling down Confederate monuments in Raleigh. This activist gave the most beautiful interview I've ever conducted. Like, you could have taken every single word, printed it on the page. It would have been a complete, well-edited short story. Okay, this kid was a genius, all right? But then at the end of the interview, they say, I don't want any pictures of myself in this comic strip. I don't want people to know my gender. I don't want people to know my race. I don't want people to know anything about me. And I'm like, well, how am I going to do that when every single paragraph is, I did this, I went here, I went there, my friend said this to me. It's me, I, all the way through. It's a first person narrative. And that troubled me for a couple of weeks. And then the debate around the country about masks got really intense. And at that point I was like, well, yeah, of course, everybody's masked. That's easy, right? Everybody in this story will be masked, except George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and other people who've been killed by the police. Their faces we see. And the faces of the protesters are all covered. And that became the mode of that piece, and I feel it became a really strong piece. And I'm really, really happy with how it worked. And I think it also spoke to the younger generation who are kind of troubled by identity, kind of want to be genderless and raceless and anonymous in a way that we didn't. That my generation wanted our individuality so badly. We felt that our society was so conformist and we wanted to show everyone what was special about us. And I think some of the younger people feel that they're overwhelmed with all the individuality that society affords middle-class people in America now. That everybody's got a Facebook page where they tell you about yourself and, show you how they look, and they feel that that's very crass, and they want kind of a more identityless or facelessness. And so I felt that piece spoke to that, and I feel very good about that piece. I think it worked really well.